So seed oils are things like corn, canola, sunflower, safflower, soybean, peanut oils. They are oils from plant seeds. The first real seed oil to enter the human diet was 1911. Procter & Gamble made Crisco, right? And that was a seed oil in like a white sort of form that mimicked butter for humans. And then Crisco was part of a big marketing campaign where Procter & Gamble was trying to tell people this is better than butter, or it stays fresh longer than butter. And there was this big confusion that happened. But 120 years ago, humans did not eat seed oils. And this is an interesting point of reference to consider. If you think about the health of humans in 1900, heart disease, which is heart attacks, strokes, all these cerebrovascular issues were a fraction of what they are today. They were vanishingly rare. In 1900, a lot of people don't know this. In 1900, essentially very few doctors had even seen a heart attack in their patient. Obesity was incredibly rare 120 years ago.
So if somebody did have a heart attack in 1900, what was the cause?
There are so many things that could cause a heart attack.
But this is
Right. Who knows? I mean, I think that heart attacks were incredibly rare in 1900. People could have had a heart attack because of stress or lack of sleep. Other toxins in the environment could have contributed to a heart attack, like mercury toxicity or heavy metal toxicity.
Yeah, right there it says in the early 1900s, heart attacks rates were significantly lower compared to later decades, as heart disease was not a leading cause of death at the time. Instead, infectious disease like pneumonia, tuberculosis were the prevalent, meaning heart attacks were considered uncommon in the early 20th century, but saw a substantial rise throughout the century, becoming the most common cause of death by mid-century. What happened in the mid-century?
These foods happened. Processed foods happened. That's the major thing. Plus, we can think about introduction of pesticides, introduction of other foods that are more contaminated with problematic things like heavy metals in the human diet. But at a broad level, ultra-processed foods came into the human diet over the last 120 years. And seed oils came into the human diet over the last 120 years. Food dyes, mono and diglycerides, all of these ingredients that your great-grandmother wouldn't recognize have become part of the human diet, the majority of our diet.